Hello, and welcome to the mirror effect, how every relationship reflects you. So, question for you. You ever notice how the same types of people keep showing up in your life? Different names, different faces. The vibe is eerily familiar. Maybe it's the friend who always seems to need more from you than you have to give. Or the partner who makes you feel invisible. Or the coworker who just knows how to trigger that one insecurity you thought you'd outgrown. It's like deja vu, but emotionally exhausting. And if you're anything like me, your first reaction might be, what in the actual hell, universe? Can I please get a different lesson this time? But here's where things get interesting. What if these people aren't just random players in your story? What if they're mirrors? Not in a you're to blame for everything kind of way. And definitely not in a spiritual bypass, everything is love and light kind of way either. But in a truthful, energetic way. Because every relationship in your life, every single one is giving you information about where you're resonating, about what you believe, about what you're still holding in your field, even if you've intellectually moved on. And most importantly, they're showing you the parts of yourself you can't quite see on your own. Sometimes that mirror feels beautiful. You meet someone who sees you, gets you, amplifies your joy, and it reflects your growth back to you. Other times, it's like emotional sandpaper. You're left wondering why you feel small or reactive or deeply misunderstood. But none of this is punishment. It's feedback. Every person is a walking feedback loop, showing you your own energetic signal. And once you see it that way, once you stop asking, why are they like this? And start asking, what are they showing me about me? You reclaim a ridiculous amount of power. You stop spiraling in the drama. You stop trying to change people who don't want to change. And you start using relationships, even the messy ones, as portals into your own growth. This is what we are diving into today. Because when you know how to read the mirror, you stop running from discomfort and start evolving through it. So, let's go. So let's talk mirrors. Not the kind you check your hair in, the energetic kind that show up in your life wearing human skin, with jobs and opinions and texting habits and childhood trauma of their own. There are three main types of mirrors you'll encounter in relationships, and sometimes one person can be all three in the same week. Let's break them down. Number 1, the light mirror. These are the people who amplify your goodness. They reflect the parts of you that are radiant, whole, expansive, even if you don't fully see those parts in yourself yet. You know the feeling. You leave the conversation feeling more alive. You're laughing more, you feel seen, but also challenged in the best way. These people don't just agree with you, they recognize you. It's not always about romantic connection either. Sometimes it's that friend who calls you out, lovingly, when you're playing small. Or the mentor who speaks to the future version of you like it's already here. Light mirrors reveal your brilliance. They show you what's possible. They remind you of who you really are beneath the survival patterns. And if you're not used to that kind of reflection, it can feel a little intense. Like, wait, you really see me like that? It's vulnerable, but it's also magnetic. And the more you accept those reflections, the more you become them. Number 2, the shadow mirror. Yes, the ones who make you want to throw your spiritual growth out the window. These are the people who poke at your unhealed parts. They mirror back the wounds you haven't faced, the beliefs you haven't questioned, or the parts of yourself you've rejected. It could be someone who always interrupts you, mirroring your unconscious belief that your voice doesn't matter. Or a partner who's emotionally unavailable, reflecting back your fear of intimacy or your own avoidant patterns. Or even a friend who constantly takes but never gives, mirroring the part of you that's still outsourcing love by overgiving. These relationships can feel so frustrating, even painful, and your ego might scream, "This is their fault." But if you zoom out just a little, you'll see something powerful. They're showing you the blueprint of your own energy. Shadow mirrors help you see what needs healing. And while that doesn't mean you should tolerate disrespect or stay in unhealthy situations, it does mean there's gold in the discomfort if you're willing to look. And third, the distortion mirror. This one is kind of tricky. Distortion mirrors reflect your confusion, your mixed signals, your internal contradictions. These are the relationships that feel unclear, unstable, or off, and you can't quite put your finger on why. It's like the person mirrors some of your light, some of your shadow, and a whole lot of projection. You might see yourself in them, but the reflection is warped, like a funhouse mirror at a carnival, part truth, part illusion. This can happen when you're in transition, when you're shedding an old identity but haven't quite anchored the new one yet, or when you're trying to people please your way into love while secretly resenting how much you're bending. Distortion mirrors are confusing because they reflect what's unresolved, not in a clean, "this is your issue" kind of way, but in a foggy, "you're still figuring this out" kind of way. And that is okay. These mirrors ask you to pause, to get clearer, to stop projecting and start integrating. They're not wrong, they're just incomplete. So whether you're dealing with a light mirror, a shadow mirror, or a full-blown distortion dance party, remember every person is showing you something, not because you're failing, but because you're evolving. And relationships, especially the messy ones, are some of the best growth tools you'll ever have. Next up, how to respond when you notice a mirror without self-blame or bypassing. Okay, so now you've spotted it. You're in a conversation and suddenly something clicks. You realize, oh, this person is totally mirroring something in me. Now what? Here's where a lot of people go sideways. They either collapse into shame, "I must still be broken if I attracted this," go full-on CSI with their own psyche, dissecting every micro interaction for deeper meaning until they're exhausted, or bypassing it altogether. It's just their energy, not mine, while ignoring the part that is resonating. But there is another way, a frequency-first way. Here's a process that's simple, compassionate, and actually helpful. Step 1, pause and observe. You don't have to do anything right away. Just notice what's being stirred in you. What sensations are in your body? What thoughts just popped up? What story are you tempted to tell? This step is about becoming aware of the mirror, not trying to fix it. Here's an example. You feel dismissed by someone during a conversation. Instead of spiraling, you pause and notice. I feel heat in my chest, and the thought, "I'm not worth listening to," just came up. That's gold. That's the mirror speaking. Step 2, get curious, not judgmental. Ask yourself gentle questions like, where have I felt this before? Is this showing me a pattern I'm ready to release? What part of me believes this reflection is true? This is about inquiry, not blame. You're not looking for proof that you're the problem. You're looking for clarity. Sometimes the mirror is showing you what needs to be healed. Other times it's showing you how much you've grown because you're no longer willing to match that frequency. Either way, it's information. Step 3, come back to your center. you don't have to mirror the mirror. Meaning, just because someone reflects chaos, insecurity, or avoidance doesn't mean you have to meet them there. You get to hold your own frequency. You get to say, "Thank you for the feedback, and I choose something different now." This might mean walking away, speaking up, setting a boundary, or simply not engaging the same way anymore. You don't have to earn your growth by fixing the dynamic. Your clarity is enough. Step 4. Integrate the lesson. This is where real power comes in. After the interaction, reflect on what you just saw and felt. Then ask, what am I choosing from here? What does my next level self do in relationships like this? How can I reinforce this shift in my everyday life? Because mirrors are only helpful if you actually use what they show you. Integration might look like having a hard conversation, or rewriting a belief, or simply celebrating that you recognized a pattern sooner this time. The point isn't perfection, it's presence. Next up, a closing segment that reminds you who you are and how to trust yourself as you move through relationships with more clarity and power. So here's what I want to leave you with. You are not broken because you keep attracting certain people. You're becoming, and the people in your life are just part of that process. Some will amplify your brilliance. Some will stir your shadows. Some will confuse the hell out of you and make you question everything. And every single one of them is a mirror, not of your worth, but of your current frequency. That doesn't mean you're to blame for how people treat you. It means you're powerful enough to shift what you're available for. And the more you choose to see clearly, without collapse, without overanalysis, the more you'll surround yourself with reflections that feel like home. Here's the big truth. You're not just the one looking in the mirror. You are the mirror for others too. Every time you choose presence over performance, boundaries over people-pleasing, truth over tolerance, you become a new reflection in someone else's life. You show them what's possible. You remind them of their light. You model clarity, love, and sovereignty in a world that often runs on confusion. So when in doubt, come back to your own field. Come back to your body. Come back to the truth that your life is not happening to you. It's happening through you. And every mirror is just a nudge, a whisper, a cosmic wink saying, "Hey, there's more of you to remember, and you've got this."